staying up because it is hot as a mole. I don't know how y'all love summer. Okay, let's do this. Hey, hello, what's up? What it do? Soul fam, welcome back to my channel, K&M Witchery. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of y'all who may not know. And what in the ADHD was that? Okay, so this is your spiritual check-in. I have no idea what it is that we can expect today. We're going to be using the tarot as well as the oracle of mystical moments and see what comes up. As always, and you know, just to mention all of the YouTube-y stuff, if you do resonate, like, subscribe, or don't, whatever. At the end of the day, just remember that this is a reading on YouTube, so if it doesn't fly, bye. Okay, so let us shuffle in. Oh my god, we have the Nine of Swords. Well, okay, we're starting off a little heavier than I expected. Tell me about the Nine of Swords. What's up? We have the Sun as well as the Hermit. I'm gonna get more cards for this. The Five of Wands, the Fool, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so a common theme in the last while, whether it be on here on YouTube or on Patreon in the dailies, I've been noticing that there's a mass resistance towards obtaining one's own goals. Now, these readings are always meant to be timeless, so whenever it is that you come across it, I hope that you resonate with it and the messages are divinely guided to you, as always intended for the soul fam. Nevertheless, I do want to mention that just a couple of days ago from recording this, Neptune had gone into retrograde, meaning that a lot of the illusions that we've had and a lot of those limiting beliefs and unconscious perceptions, we'll get to all of this, is now being eliminated in a way. It's like we're all kind of getting slapped with a big reality check. And thus, things are changing, and we realize that we are now coming out of an older version of ourselves. So with the Sun and Hermit being here, it's telling me that there's a lot of polarity here, right? Like, you can argue the Hermit is equivalent even to like the moon, okay? It's dark, it's singular, it's solitude and self-indulgence in a way that is just like locked up. You want to keep all of that light reserved to yourself, and yet with the Sun here, it's showing a mass illumination on this Hermit. So we're getting to a point that we're unable to escape what is divinely being guided and pushed and asked of us. Now, whether or not you believe in like divine guidance and universes and gods and things like that, because I do know I have a few atheists tuning in, so like, what's up? I see you. Your unconscious mind drives you forward, mainly because your unconscious mind encompasses all change, behavior, values, and such forth. So innately, you have a recurrence of thoughts and like next steps that you really want to take, that you've perhaps maybe always envisioned yourself going down a particular road. I'm getting a sense of like writing a book, especially here with this Ace of Swords, which we're going to touch on in a little bit. You may want to really write a book. Now, as someone who has written and never published, but like there's a few books that I have written and like just discarded in my life, I understand the difficulties in wanting to even commence down such a path, and I always recommend it nonetheless as far as any form of creation is concerned. But with writing a book, you can think of this really beautiful idea, although until you sit down with a pen and paper in your hand or a laptop putting it all into words somehow becomes a challenge. And that could very well be the thing that is deterring you from actually accomplishing the goal and publishing it and living out perhaps maybe a dream of you being a known author. Right? And you can use this example as always to anything in your life. I typically like to speak in generalities, especially because I'm speaking to a whole collective and not a personal reading, though if you ever do want to book with me, knmwitchery.com. It's really that simple. The Nine of Swords here being the highlight tells me that there's a lot of self-implicating, limiting beliefs that are refraining you, but are also being brought out for the purpose of healing it, for the purpose of you casting light on the things that you have chosen to keep hidden. And that can be really uncomfortable. I feel like change and discomfort has been, again, a really common theme. And I do want to say that this retrograde in particular that I had brought up with Neptune, alongside many other things going on cosmically. Now, I personally am no astrologer, but nevertheless, I am lining up energetically and intuitively to all of these types of energetic implications. And so that's just the way that I could relate to some of y'all as well who are into it. But it's causing a lot of reality checks. It's almost as if the limiting beliefs that we have had for so long are now being debunked and demythed and proven false. And you're seeing it firsthand, which is a really good thing, because the reason why it's so positive is because the sun comes out. Annie just came into my head. And so the sun being the brightest light in the entire deck tells me that there is an illumination, and that alone can be tricky to navigate, because when you've been in darkness for so long and suddenly someone opens up a window, you're gonna wince. Even just sitting in a regular lit room and someone puts on a light out of nowhere, it could kind of like you gotta adjust for a hot second, right? So the longer that you've been in darkness and in hermit, the more of a impact the light will have. And yet, I want to say that the more that you choose to not even honestly, roll up the blinds and keep your eyes closed until you're ready to open them, you don't have to stare at the opening of the window as you are illuminating your space. I'm saying that you can make it easier, right? I'm just using silly metaphors and stuff as always. It's just how my clairvoyant brain works. Once you've illuminated an aspect of your life, especially when you've deemed a truth now false or vice versa, that sort of shit can really change a person. And I'm saying it's a good thing. I'm also saying that you must stop holding yourself back. So to those whom are tuning in, whom are choosing to perhaps maybe sleep in more than they ought to, and I'm not saying don't rest, okay? If you ever need to rest, give your body what it is that you need. I'm saying that those whom are finding comfort in the procrastination of things, more so falling into habits that can lead down paths of anxiety and depression and substance abuse and dependency and such, right? Like, this is where we go against what is being asked of us authentically, and thus we, in a way, I'm seeing like a sunset. We choose to remain in the darkness. And I think that that's where this Five of Wands comes in. This is where the biggest conflict comes into play, because you're unsure of what move to make. And there's a great hesitation here. And this hesitation comes with wanting to perfect how the outcome will be, wanting to fully control the matters and how others may react to it, how you can potentially accomplish these things. You want to know and be able to foretell what is to come. And I do want to say that even as a psychic medium and a highly intuitive person, I'm unable to often dismantle what is coming up for me. And that's because we have to go through the human experience. So we can accumulate as many synchronicities and knowledge and certifications and assumptions as we want, and still, through the action and the experience, and thus the unconsciousness that comes along with the human experience, there's going to be many things that we're unable to know until we go through it. There are some things, Soul Fam, that fortune telling will never tell you because it may actually impact you to sabotage it. Like if I was to always tell you that to get from here to here, you have to go through something really uncomfortable, you just may talk yourself out of what that discomfort is. Now I can warn you about the discomfort, and I will always let you know, always, that free will is your right in this experience, and you can choose to delay, to reel in things a lot quicker for you, to completely reject, or to just leap in. You can do whatever it is that you want to do with the experiences that you have before you, because although you may not be able to have full control, which is what I'm really alluding to how things may play out or how people and places and things will react to you, you do have full control of how you show up, and how all of these unconscious implications will require you to, using this newfound awareness that has been illuminated in these aspects that were once hidden, even from you and or others, that you're again being broadcasted and pushed to bring out. You can take control and you can change karma because you'll choose to show up differently. You break the loops. We're often so dependent on external circumstances of people respecting us more or understanding us more, or the government's doing some things differently, or society having this, or blah, 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 blah. Like, it's like all of these things would be better if, and usually that if is something externally. If I had more money, or if this person was in my life or wasn't in my life, or we can go on and on and on. And yet, humbling ourselves into this moment right here and right now will allow us to really be in this moment, have better gratitude for the things that we do have, and also better clarity on what it is that we can do with what we have in order to show up and then know the next move. And with the Fool following up right here, okay, it's about having faith and taking that leap forward. The Fool is the start of the deck. It is the zero. It is the journey. It's the choice. It's the leap, it's the birth, it's faith over fear. Because with Five of Wands, you're constantly fighting yourself, your ego, or others. The Five of Wands can often include external circumstances and people and environments and jobs. I mean, again, I do my best to keep it all general, but all of these like different examples always like flood in. But if you're still here, you resonate and you get it. And so fam, trust that deep feeling within you that is pushing you forward. And if you have this deep desire to speak your truth or to write it out, there's some form of communication, okay? Whether you're typing, writing, speaking, creating music, any form of communication in that sense, right? Do it.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Use your throat chakra and create your existence by speaking it into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's dive into the oracles here as well, because I want to see what else we got here. So I don't know, do we want to just like clarify each card? Sure, let's do that, and then we'll just take it from there. I don't know. I just work here. I'm just gonna have some fun. Nine of Swords is being clarified by Liberty. So this is a matter now of holding back or proceeding forward. Whatever shall it be. Notice how the birdcage is open. You have every choice and every right to fly out, to live your life, and to come right back. The misconception that we make is that we believe that everything is set in stone. So once we decide and we act on something, that is what it's going to be. There is nothing that's permanent. And that's why we're so privy and able to change, even on a whim. Y'all, I went vegetarian in an afternoon. I just decided, okay, I'm done. I went to Subway and I got myself a meatball sub. Some people will judge me for my choice, but that's okay. I ate the meatballs first, then I closed up the sub, I ate the sub, and I called up my parents and I was like, I'm done. I don't eat meat anymore. Ooh. I go into work and these people like place bets. They're like, yo, she ain't gonna last a month. She ain't gonna last a week, right? Oh, I should have taken the money. Here I am, like 10 years later, meatless. And it was such an easy transition just because I decided it. I didn't wean myself off of anything. Although I do recommend it. So like, you know, don't stop cold turkey unless yeah, I don't know. Felt like I needed to say something and then I failed in saying it anyways, but you get it, okay? You can change. And I never say never. I don't know. Maybe in 5 years I'm gonna suddenly start eating meat again. I don't really see that happening, but you never know. So whatever changes that occur, whether they be drastic, permanent, or otherwise, you can always go back to something. And when you go back to something, when you go back into your hermit, you bring back the wisdom with it and you allow that to bubble and nurture within you until you're going to be ready to come out and fly again. Like I got like reeled into these little birds in the background there. Like that's beautiful. The symbolism, how everything comes around. Look, there's birds everywhere. Ugh. I love my job. This is fun. So let's clarify the sun. What's the real obstacle here? 33, weaving flowers. Let me get another clarifier for that. I heard use tarot. Cool. 7 of Wands and Death came out. Some of y'all are really evading your own destiny. I would highly recommend, if you hadn't already, peep into your astrology chart and take a look at where it is that you have your North Node, meaning what house it's in, as well as the sign that it's in. And then take that information and populate it into YouTube and have people much smarter than I tell you about yourself and about your destiny and the type of karma that you are to play. Because, I'm sensing a really deep resistance, again with this common theme, of breaking out of who you were, breaking out of your past. And yet with Death here shows that there is a rebirth. It's an end and a beginning of a cycle, whether you want it or not. The only thing that's going to differentiate a positive outcome versus a more challenging outcome is your resistance to this change, to taking the leap, to just flying. Dude, just have yourself a nice little flutter about the cage and then go right back in if you have to. Like, who said you have to make a grand statement in your life in order for everything to shift? Again, that is more dependence on the external. Take control of what it is that you have now, what you can do now, what you have the ability to do now. Focus on that. Because you can sit there and you can weave all of these flowers together, but they've been beautiful to begin with. You didn't have to create art out of it. And if you are being pulled to do that, go ahead and do that already and come out with it already, because the sun is shining. So this could also be, and I'm getting really big nose itch on that you perhaps may have been withholding your art, your voice, your creations from the collective or from your family or anything. And I know how difficult it is to stand in your authenticity for the first few times. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like all of these limiting beliefs and thoughts of rejections and abandonment and any other wounds that exist, which there are many. I don't want to list them all because I don't want to accidentally trigger any of y'all, but you already get it, okay? So like, all of that's going to come up inevitably. You can prepare to heal all you want, but the unconsciousness will still be there. It will still require the experience in order to heal, in order to overcome. So to the previous post, stop holding yourself back by believing that you have to intellectualize everything first, that you need this and this and this and understand that and this, because 9 out of 10 times it will be different, and that different will also be so much better than you've actually like expected. And oh, there was a hummingbird outside. Whoever needed that, my heart chakra just like expanded. So that's beautiful. It's actually a really big symbol for me too. It immediately showed me my tattoo. And I have a tattoo of a book open and a hummingbird made up of letters coming out. So this is actually my message to me to write the damn novel already and get it out to you guys. I hear you, Spirit. I hear you. So what are you guys working on? What are you holding back? Because honestly, guys, this year is a beautiful year to just be you and to try it out and be free and see what happens. And do it from the goodness of your heart, because you can. Because you can. Let's talk about the Hermit here. Whew, these messages are deep. What's up? Are you still here? Give it a like, subscribe if you had not already. Press that button, that red button that we've always been told, don't push the button, but I'm telling you, go do it, okay? Go do it, press it. Secrets! Secrets comes out with the Hermit. What a beautiful clarifier, right? As someone who considers herself a content creator, who is putting herself out there, who understands the challenges and the fears that had come with it and still do, okay? There's waves of this, no matter how long I've been doing it and such like that, no matter how much I've transformed in it. Again, there's always new levels and layers. Please tune into the recent spiritual check-in if that resonates. You can still hold your own truth close to you. You can still show up and share your art without disclosing every single aspect of yourself. This is why metaphors exist. This is why stories exist. This is why you don't have to necessarily share every single thing. You have a choice what it is that you choose to express. But even that littlest bit will make a grand difference for you. And following your authenticity can still be possible without you showing yourself off completely and entirely. And I will say that, Soul Fam, even if you wanted to, there's still so much hidden unconsciously that you yourself today are unaware of, that you may be aware of later on, and you will never discover these things. No matter how much you think that you are living in your truest authenticity, you will continue to evolve, you'll continue to change, you'll continue to discover. Those people who tell me that they know themselves through and through, I'm sitting here going like, how? Like, that's not possible. Like, we're constantly evolving year after year, month after month. Again, you can change in a day, in an afternoon, if you really so choose. And so you're allowed to have secrets, Soul Fam. You're allowed to choose what it is that you disclose or not. And you can always, always, always go back to your Hermit. There are many things that I share that still y'all don't actually know shit about me. Like, let's be honest, it doesn't matter how much I post. There are very personal issues that y'all don't know about, very significant few people know about, and that's on purpose because it's safe to me. And until I am ready and healed from it, will I express it. But why sit here and like divulge my pain and my traumas and my struggles with y'all just for the internet, which can be a really scary place to take advantage of that before I'm even ready for it to. You have the control, Soul Fam. You have the control in how you react and how you show up. And in knowing how others may, you can still select which path and what step to take. So, speaking of these steps, let's clarify the Five of Wands here. Woo! That was a nice little jump. The gift. I'm going to clarify the gift. Before a card comes out, I will say that the initial impression that I have of this is that you're going to be receiving this beautiful opportunity that will seemingly come from, I don't even want to say nowhere, but it's going to be a really pleasant surprise. It's going to be a wonderful confirmation in a form of conversation, invitation, a contract perhaps. Something is going to be presented to you almost, I've heard a silver platter. Like, I think that whatever it is, opportunity that you have, Bloom came out, to do what it is that you got to do. And I'm so excited to clarify the Ace of Swords once we get there. But again, when every ounce of you, Soul Fam, is pushing you down a direction despite your discomfort, if you follow that, Soul Fam, you're going to be able to grow and blossom and evolve. Like I said, there's a form of evolution and human experience that you miss out on until and unless you choose to show up to it. And so when it comes to taking a next step, just pick one. Just pick one. If you have 5 Choose 3 out of those 5, or even 2, flip a coin and do the do. See if it even works out for you, because you're sitting here stressing about what it is that you can take and what it is that you can do. And granted, a really beautiful gift might come out to say this is your move, and you can still choose not to take it and debate on these other 5, or you can just say, okay, I'm going to just trust it and I'm going to do it. And if it's not going to work out, great. Now we can try the other thing. And then the other thing after that, and then the other thing after that. Because the real gift is the present opportunity to just exist and grow and ground yourself in change that you wish to see, that you wish to be. Ooh, I love this reading. Let's clarify the Fool. Card out. Sorry for the background noise if you guys hear all of that. Oh, sunny day. Oh, sunny day. A positive mentality will really shift so much for y'all, Soul Fam. So much. This can be the NLP side of me speaking, but your thoughts can truly become things. Your perspective shapes your reality. Choosing to trust in the direction that you are leading on, simply by knowing that it's going to be okay in the end. Even if you do stumble across things, you're just in season 3, baby. Things are just getting good. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this reality for you. Show up anyway. That's a good energy to sit in. Finally, let's get to the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords, please. Can you hear me? Interesting how the Ace of Swords, an opportunity to speak, to communicate, to connect, poses the question, can you hear me? Her body is submerged underwater. Her shell is one that could likely project. The vibrations alone that could be felt in the water with her voice and outside of water. This is like, you can speak, honestly, you can speak to the human experience through your intuition. Some of y'all are seriously holding back some amazing magic. Magic that can not only help the collective, but change your life for the better too. Because why not have both? As empaths, we're often so guilty in doing things that could benefit ourselves, when really it's all the same. The happier and healthier you are, the better that you can show up for the people that you love in your life. So why not have both? So fam, you're really being called, and I invite you to step forward and share your art, share your voice. And even if you're not ready to get to that point, I hope that this motivates you to at least create it and start putting it out there for yourself so that you can hear yourself. Sometimes that's all that matters. Sometimes you got to do it for you before you do it for others. And that's okay. That's what actually makes things more authentic. I heard my snaps. I am so happy with this reading. I really truly hope that it benefited you. Please let me know if and how with a like or a comment down below. I love hearing from y'all. If of course you want to book your own spiritual check-in with me, knwitchery.com, the link's down below. There's also a little discount code. Just saying. I guess that's that. I'll see you in another reading, Soul Fam. Bye. Mwah.